We just had our predictions dinner the other night, and before I open up to questions from the audience here, let's make a few predictions for next year. What would you say you would predict to be the volume of deals next year versus this year as a percentage of what you've done this year?
It is interesting in this country because in the area we live in, I think we celebrate our creativeness, but we're not unique. You can go to Austin and see the same set of entrepreneurs that come with lots of good ideas, and same with Boston. So there's, our country still has an awful lot of good ideas that are coming up and people trying to build businesses. That's healthy for us.
I think we'll probably find three groups of entrepreneurs in this economy. One are those that are slightly risk averse, and if they still have the golden handcuffs and the nice day job at some of the larger employers in the area, they might just stay put for a while. Others, sadly, will not have that choice. We're likely going to see some layoffs and some really talented people either out there looking for work or finally no longer having an excuse not to start that business. So we'll see. And we saw this actually, in the 70s with Boeing layoffs. There was a great deal of innovation that was spurred out of that. And then the third group, I think, is people who just have that entrepreneur gene and will start a business no matter what. So in the second two categories, I think we're going to see, probably this. I wouldn't anticipate seeing a drop in deal flow in 2009 personally.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if we don't see a significant drop in the number of deals financed. I mean, this was one of my most active years ever. Up until say September, I can't imagine that I'll be doing. I'm sure I'll do some, but I don't think I'll be doing nearly as many as I did this year. Maybe just a handful. I probably will be investing in a bunch of the companies I'm already in, right? And I think what I'm already seeing is that inside rounds, so the rounds that are led by the same investors that are already investors in the companies are being done at more attractive valuations even there. So in order to get the existing investors to re-up, some of those investors are demanding, hey, that we need to take the valuation down. The valuation we did this at the last time was too high in retrospect, right? At the time, it probably seemed fine. And so what we're seeing is even to attract existing investors, you're having to make the terms more attractive for them. And so I think we are going to see fewer investments. I think we're going to see fewer venture deals as well. And so as the VCs focus on triaging their own portfolios, I mean, they've all done a lot of investments during the last several years. I think we'll see fewer companies getting that. So people will have to be stretching their money out longer. And so I think the number of deals will go down. I think people will come up with great new ideas, right? I mean, as Rebecca said, out of adversity, I think you will see a lot of opportunity. Some of the more attractive deals I've done in recent, in the last year have been buying a few companies, where all of a sudden, people decide to sell, and whether it's a distressed sale or just an opportunistic, it's a small company that we think can do well. I think there'll be opportunities as an investor to do some of those things. And so I think there will be opportunity, but again, as far as the number of deals, it's going to be a lot less.
I think Woody House and Tom Cable started the first venture capital firm in Seattle back in the early 70s. And this is a fact and a story from Woody. Some trivia for you. Where did the software industry start in Seattle? The answer is Boeing. Boeing was laying off all their employees in the early 70s. The last one to leave Seattle turned out the lights. Boeing had to turn to an alternative to create revenue, so they created Boeing Software Services, which created the software industry in Seattle, which obviously we've had many companies, namely, one of Microsoft and many others, to follow. So just to follow these comments and the sentiments here is that they're absolutely right, is that this is an excellent time to start a company if you can make it through this tough time. And so the companies that we see they're going to make it through this extremely difficult time are going to flourish, hopefully, as the markets do turn. We did see this in early 2000 as well, and those companies had a number of liquidity events in the last 2-3 years, and even one most recently as well.
Well, I want to thank the panels. Terrific job. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Thank you all for coming this morning. We'll break it off at this point. Couple of comments I'd make. One is we have our annual Cocktails and Contributions event December 10th. We're renting out Act Theater. It's an opportunity to kind of toast the year and think about the new year and give a little bit to the kids with Toys for Tots. So we hope you'll join us on December 10th. It's a good party. And then I'll also mention, kind of tagging on to some comments comments today. We've been working for over a year on a project to document the history of the Puget Sound tech industry, and on January 22nd in this room we'll launch it, and it'll include a poster that will show the exploding galaxy of this region as seen through 6 foundational companies. And those foundational companies include Boeing, University of Washington, Macaw, Aldous, Microsoft, and Amazon. And so anyone who comes gets a free poster. So mark your calendar on the 22nd. We'll have some folks who were here at the very beginning of the industry to talk about what their perspectives over the last 20 years or so. And it'll probably be launched pretty broadly out into the community. So if you want to get an inside look at it, that's the 22nd. Otherwise, I want to thank again Sterling Communications and Sun Microsystems who sponsored today. And as you all know, we too are looking at our memberships and looking at our renewals. And this is our big time of year. So if you're a member, thank you. We hope you'll stay with us. And if you're not a member, we encourage you to join us. It's the membership dues, along with sponsorship, that funds all the programs that we do. So have a great holiday and hope to see you in December. Thanks, panels.